Welcome to Crimson Guitars, welcome to the 90-hour build. This complication is coming together now. I am excited. I've just finished sanding, I'm done. Well, okay, let me rephrase that. I am moving on to another portion of this build because, quite frankly, I am done with sanding. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit of work on the neck. We've got this veneer in. I'm going to clear that off, plane it down a little bit. Once I've got that done, truss rod in, truss rod access drilled. Now at this stage, I could get a template and route a nice oval here. Most people don't like fiddling about the routers though, so I'm going to do it by hand with gouges, really. I also need to obviously drill the hole. Now, what was occurring to me would be to start off with that and then widen the hole, widen the access out. I haven't actually done it this way in about a decade. I'm going to start drilling. I'm using a center point drill. To start the hole, and then I'm going to change to a standard twist bit before it pulls through into the other side of the cavity, because that would rip through and potentially break this area here. Mostly that was done with 2 inside ground gouges. And yeah, the bevels on the inside makes it nice and straight. And then the last little bit was just a little spoon gouge, just in those corners. I'm very happy. So yeah, routers are easier, but you don't get that shape, do you? So, well. Quite frankly, time for a fretboard. This is such exciting. Such exciting. This is such exciting. I've been considering this build a lot, obviously. The question is, do I bind the fretboard? Do I add pinstriping on the bottom of the fretboard? It would add about 1 millimeter of height to the board, which isn't a bad thing actually, considering how much material we have or don't have here. The question really is, do I have binding or do I have horizontal pinstripes and then a pinstripe, or purfling actually, much like you would find in a violin. So we've still got the quilting on the end, on the edges, but inset we've got some purfling. That could be really pretty. Or do I do something entirely different? Don't know what I'm doing with my hands. I am going to plane off the layer of resin that I have here. I think that the reason why I had thought of binding in my head was because obviously this was originally the neck. I don't have any width to play with. In fact, it's going to be a little bit narrower than I'd hoped because this was the neck, not the fretboard, and I want the fretboard to overhang. So, well, pretty much that's it. We are going to plane this down. Now, who do I use today? I love my life. We're going to put in a pinstripe and then an outer layer of something. I don't know what yet. We're going to put in a pinstripe along the bottom as well, because it's attractive. It needs to be done. So there. I'm going to use a shooting board. We've got extra fretboard either end. I can make it a little bit narrower if I need to. I'm going to go and find whatever I'm going to bind this in. Much thought has been given. I really like the look of the edge. Let's get some light of this quilted sapele. It's gorgeous. It would be a total shame to miss out on that. So I'm going to do something just a little bit dangerous. I'm going to take this fretboard over to the little bandsaw over there, and I'm going to cut off 2 outer strips. I'm going to lose, obviously, the kern of the blade. I will put that outside a multi-laminate of black, white, black, or white, black, white, at least. And we'll end up with that sort of look. Yep, that was a little nerve-wracking, but a success. Okay, so we need to joint those areas and move on from here. Okay. I've had a little bit of a think about this. I am going to use the masking tape and super glue trick to hold these strips down while I plane them. I will use the shooting board to plane the sides of the fretboard. And then from that point, I am going to glue the multi-laminate onto the fretboard. So that's the vertical pieces. I'm going to have to do 2 black, so it's stained poplar. 2 black, 1 white, 2 black, in order to get the width that I require. While that is drying and curing, I'm going to put a black, white, black strip of purfling on the bottom of this piece of binding. Remember, I'm going to cut the fret slots and all of that jazz, and then after that's done, put the binding strips on. Now, this will raise that up a little bit, but not cause any significant issues with stability or grain matching, which is the important thing with this. Now, I did consider just putting 3 pieces of veneer underneath the fretboard and having that go the entire width of the board, but it's not necessary. It's close enough to the right thickness that I don't want to make the whole thing more chunky, really. That just means more material to remove later, and I don't want to do that. So onwards with the masking tape and super glue. It would be nice if I could tell what the grain was doing. Okay, so what I've got here is two different options. One is a double layer of black with a single white and then a double layer of black. And then one is white, black, white, black, white. I think what I'm going to have to do is the multi-layer white, black, white. You can't really see this because, there we go, because the double layer of black just looks very, very overpowering. That's delicate. So, oh, there we go, you can see it now. I'm not so sure. All right. I thought I was saving time doing that. I was not. Rubbish. Okay, so what I'm going to do is something else. Fretboard is done and good. I am going to glue the side strips directly onto the veneer, and I'm going to do it individually and with super glue. I think, actually. It feels naughty, but super glue is a valid option for pretty much anything that you could think of. Give me suggestions in the videos below of something you couldn't use super glue for, and the unintended consequences of, well, everything. It's good fun. Okay, so black, white, black. Which is the top? That's the question, really. This is gonna look so good. This is going to have to be quick, which is a problem because this is actually rather a delicate task. Crikey. Wait, stay still. Ah, that's better. Come on. Aha. Okay, there is one thing that happens a lot while you are filming. You get lost in the moment and don't really think about what you're doing. What I should have done there is glue the 3 pieces of veneer together first and then put the binding on next. How you doing, Tom? All good. So I've just done that again. 3 pieces of binding, veneer at least, glued, and now I'm going to glue that to that much quicker and better.